Okay, so we have Mr. Alex McCooke here, who's going to be fighting this weekend at the very first Cage Gladiators Ireland. He's going to be fighting for the belt as well. So he's going to make history if he wins the belt. He's going to make history by being a part of this card anyways. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate your time. How are you feeling in the lead up to this show? Because it's the first one, the first show, the first installment of it, and you're going to be part of that.
Yeah, no, feeling good. Totally different training camp this time, but feeling great. It's actually an honour to be asked onto the card for the first time it being shown. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it is a good card, and obviously, there's really good fights all down the card. You're obviously going to be facing Emmett. Is he someone you've looked into? Because you were supposed to cross paths at Fit to Fight at the tournament that time. You could potentially.
Yeah.
So when this fight came about, was it a fight that excited you because it was one that maybe kind of got away because I think he done his shoulder the week of the fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, I was looking forward to it at the time we were originally supposed to meet, and then once I got offered the opportunity again, I was like, he's up and coming, and he's one of the big names in the scene at the moment. So I was like, no, I can't turn down this opportunity and go out and prove myself because I'm moving on in the years, and he's still a young fella. I'm getting older, so.
Yeah, and then like that, like I said, he's good experience, he's a good name, and fighting, no matter what the outcome, whether you won or lost, there's going to be takens away from the fight as well. And you've been quite
Absolutely.
you've been quite active, obviously, since you've come back. There's a lot of shows on. How are you feeling? You've moved gyms, you've gone over to Dekgar. How are you feeling? How was this camp, and how's the new gym? How are you fitting into the new gym?
Well, obviously the last show I done part of my training camp through Dekgar. I'm with my old gym, and that was sort of the start of the transition. And then I just moved full time over to Dekgar. The training camp's been unreal, been more than welcomed into it. It's just suits my style. They've added new aspects to my fighting game. There's more experience, different, aspects to it. There's different things coming to me. I'm learning new things that I never learned before, and no, this is to me. It was the right move to do. I needed to change my game plan. I needed to change everything in me to become the better fighter and step forward to fight the likes of Emma, who is obviously a big name. So
Yeah, and like that, you can only do what's right for you as well. And there's a question that I'm curious about as well, because usually when we talk about your first time going to a gym and stuff like that. Even as a fighter, going from one gym to another, like what's that kind of experience like? Is it overwhelming? Is it still a little, did you be anxious, or is it comfortable because you've been in the combat gym? I know, but going into a new one, like for me, if I went from one job to a new one, you're still a bit nervous, a bit anxious how you're going to fit in. Does that come across, or is it just because you're a fighter, you're used to it, and the gym is very welcoming, or what was it like with the transition?
as there is a wee nervous aspect to it, 100%. And because you're walking into new environments. Like I've known Decky for years, obviously been in the fight game for years, and the Gary and stuff as well. But meeting the other guys that are in the gym was new. Didn't know their level, didn't know what they were capable of or not capable of. But once I walked in, I was made more than welcome, made feel part of the team straight away. There was no unwelcomeness or nothing. It was just straight in, straight to business, and made feel part of the team from day dot.
Yeah, and that's good, obviously, that you get welcome, and that's one of the things about MMA gyms that people don't understand. You think you're walking into a scary environment, and it's not a scary environment. It's probably one of the most welcoming environments that you get. You said obviously, you've added new aspects to your game and stuff. Are we going to see a different fighter than we seen last time? Like, obviously, don't give away game plans or stuff that you like to do, but there's new tricks up the sleeve that are going to be out this time, or have you got a game plan set?
Nah, I don't really have a game plan set. We just sort of just work on ourselves and just work on what we feel like we need to work on, weaknesses, strengths, and just focus on us. Try not to focus on your opponent as much and just focus on you, because at the end of the day, it's your fight as much as your opponent's fight. Like, I'm not taking anything away from Emma. Emma's a great fighter, but like I'm going out there with a different game set this time. Like, going to be a completely different fighter. Everybody just knows me for one thing or knows me from a certain thing. This time it's going to change, and they're going to see maybe a different side to me. Completely 100%.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to see that side as well. And I like what you said there about just focusing on yourself. Do you think that's something that some amateurs or even professional fighters get caught up in, is their opponent and trying to stop their game plan rather than expressing yourself and implementing your own style?
100%. People get caught up in the other fighter, what they done their last fight or what they might do, and they just focus on that happening. But that fighter's trying to develop as well, so they're changing their fight style, their fight game to find out where they want to go to the next fight because they're trying to improve as much as you're trying to improve. But if you get caught up in your opponent, you are going to make mistakes. You're just going to focus on what they've done the last time and not focus on what they're going to bring this time.
Yeah, and if it doesn't happen as well, you might be like, okay, I was expecting such and such, and
Yeah.
then your game plan could, I would assume, could it put doubts in your head then. Whereas if you focus on you and know what you've got to do going forward, then that's the only thing you need to do. But it's going to be a very good fight. Like being part of this card and being on the first one, like I said, it was an honor to be asked. So when you got asked for the fight and you're going to be going there, obviously it's his home kind of show. You're going to be going in. He's going to have a lot of fans. Would that motivate you, or would that add more pressure? Do you think it might add more pressure to him? Because I think sometimes being the home fighter might add more pressure to them. And how do you feel like in that situation like that? What's your experience, and what does it bring out of it?
No, I'm that point now. The crowd doesn't really affect me, and Emmett seems like a cool customer. I don't think he'll feel under pressure that the crowd's there. He just looks like a guy that's there to do business, the same as myself. We're just there to fight, and best man wins on the night. He could feel the pressure of the crowd, feeling like it's his first show, first time. There could be history made here, and the pressure could be on him more than it's on me. But there's still a lot of pressure on me because like, I'm moving on the years and I'm stepping up for a belt here, and it's just not a little belt. It's quite a big belt, and if I win it, it's history being made. If Emmett wins it, it's history being made. So there's a lot on the line.
Yeah, there is, and it's actually a very nice belt. I seen them the post with the belt as well, and obviously, what would it mean for you to like if you were to beat Emmett and lift the belt? What would it mean to you to lift the belt and then beat someone like of that caliber? And it'd be obviously the same if he bet you, but what would it mean to lift the belt going forward then for your career?
I mean, it would mean a lot. It means then it shows that I have improved and I'm at that standard where I think I'm at, and just keep progressing. Hopefully, do if I win, do a couple more defenses of it, and then hopefully head on to pro by the end of the year.
And obviously, we're pro with the end of the year. With the amount of shows we have, I think I've been talking to Emma and Jack, and they were saying there's actually going to be, I think, 4 of those shows next year. We've got hosts of other shows, Cage Conflict, Fit to Fight, and all the other ones that go with it. Are you looking to stay active then before you go pro? Is there a number of fights you'd like to get, or is it when you're ready, you're ready?
I sort of leave that up to the coaches and the team to sort of push me. I'll always be staying fight ready. It's when they feel like I'm ready to step into the next fight. But yeah, I'd like to stay as active as possible, and while I'm in still here and still fit to fight, just keep go for it.
Yeah, and like I said, with the amount of shows that we have, how does it feel like as a fighter that just say like just what 6 shows in 7 weeks now over the next couple of weeks here, which is mental. It's a busy time for refs, me, judges, coaches, everyone. With the amount of shows that we have, like how do you feel as a fighter then going, okay, there's that many shows and you've got that many options to get fights?
It's good to see it. All the shows are back up and running again since obviously COVID and stuff happened a lot of years ago. But like, as it's hard to choose because you have to pick like the right shows, what show's going to showcase you, get in the right training camp, try and find the right opponent. Um, I mean, all that they're all great shows. Not one of them's a show that's not worth being on. They're all great shows, but it's just picking the right show for you and fitting inside like a training regimen and going for it from there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of factors that go into it. The day, like obviously you've personal lives outside this and you've got work and everything else that goes with it as well. And how hard is that to kind of balance? Like as a fighter, as a person, as like how hard is it to try and balance all that? Or have you got to a stage where you kind of you've got everything down, or is it still a learning process every day?
Oh, everything's still a learning process. There's no when there's children involved in work because you could be at work 1 minute and a job could go sweet, next minute it could go tits up, and then you come home and there's problems with the children, there's problems with the girlfriend, the wife, whatever, and that just sets you back in training. You might be 20 minutes late for training, you might miss training that night, and then you have to try and regroup and get into an extra couple of sessions or hit the gym or do something different. No, you're still learning because there's nothing you'll ever get down to a T. Never, even training's never down to a T.
Yeah, because not every day is the same. Every day is going to be different, especially like you said, with kids and the family and jobs, depending on what kind of work structure that you have. Like I know with my job, it's not the same every day. Things are going to change. You could be out late or you could be in longer, and it's just trying to balance them, obviously. But obviously, like you said, you're not looking past them. If you were gonna, after this fight, what kind of time would you like to fight again next year? Would it be like as early as possible? Because I know there's a cage conflict in March. I think this one might run in March. Or are you just focused solely on the task in hand because it's such a big moment?
Just the task in hand at the moment, and then after that, we'll speak to Deggy and Gary and see where this is all going to go from here. They'll pick the next show, see where I'm ready. Because obviously, you can come out of that show with an injury or come out of it scot free and just be ready for the next show.
If you came out scot free, would you fight again this year with the amount of
No,
shows we have?
I don't think it, because this would be a good end to the year. Obviously, if I win, put you on a high. Christmas is coming up. I have 3 young children to sort of give my attention to now because I've been so active this year on the MMA scene. So
Yeah, no, and obviously the kids are the most important, especially leading up to Christmas. And as humans, we all love to enjoy that Christmas time as well. But it's going to be a fantastic show this weekend. I'm going to be there in person. I was delighted to be asked, like yourself, feel privileged to be asked to go up there. So I'm going to see you in person again. And I've seen you at shows, and it's always great to have a chat with you. And it's been great having you on again tonight. Is there anything you want to say before you go? And I want to thank you so much for your time.
nah, nothing else. No.
That's perfect. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the night, and I will see you on Sunday. Best of skill.
Yeah. Same to you, brother. Thank you.